Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks just announced their list of players who they've extended qualifying offers to, as well as the players that they did not extend qualifying offers to. And as I explained earlier in my video from this morning, qualifying offers are for restricted free agents. They're not 27 years old, they haven't played 8 years in the league yet. And in essence, it's a way to retain negotiating rights with that player. Just because you are extended a qualifying offer doesn't mean you have to accept it. In fact, many of those players, Brock Boeser, many of these players will not accept it because the qualifying offer is based on a set percentage of last year's salary. And Brock Boeser, for one, is indeed in line for a big raise. Similarly, if you were not extended a qualifying offer, it doesn't mean you can't sign with Vancouver Canucks because you are now an unrestricted free agent. So not only can you sign with the Vancouver Canucks, you can sign with any of the 31 teams in the NHL. So let's talk about who got qualified, who didn't, and the ramifications for each. And I don't think there are any surprises given all the stuff we've heard in the media recently. So the Canucks did qualify 8 players. Brock Boeser being at the very top. Obviously, he's going to make a lot more than the $1 million that his qualifying offer likely had. He's in line to make $7 million or so on a brand new contract. Also, Reed Boucher, mostly an AHL guy, but maybe he gets another crack at the NHL. We will see. Nikolai Goldobin, they qualified him. He may accept that qualifying offer. He may try and renegotiate for a 1 or 2 year contract. We'll see. But for those of you that like Nikolai Goldobin, at least it's a sign that the Canucks want to continue, to have him in the fold for at least another year. Josh Leivo, no surprise there, did really well after coming over from the Toronto Maple Leafs mid-season. You also have Tyler Mott, very hardworking, will be a staple, likely on our 4th line, playing alongside one of Brandon Sutter or Jay Beagle. So Tyler Mott, no surprise there. And then Francis Perron, just traded to us last week, over the weekend, from the San Jose Sharks on draft day. So those are the 6 forwards: Boeser, Boucher, Goldobin, Leivo, Mott, and Perron. 2 defensemen, both of the NCAA signing variety. Brogan Rafferty got into 2 games last year. Josh Teves only got into 1 game, but I think the Canucks were happy with what they saw, or they want to see a bit more. So both those guys got qualifying offers. So once again, Boeser, Boucher, Goldobin, Leivo, Mott, Perron, Rafferty, and Teves. 5 players that did not get qualified. Brendan Gaunce, we kind of knew that. I think it was announced a few months ago that they weren't going to be, extending a qualifying offer to him. They announced that really early for some reason. So Brendan Gaunce is one. Marcus Granlund, no surprise given what we've heard in the media and the fact that maybe he's fallen out of favor a bit with Travis Green and maybe does not fit in the Canucks' plans. Ben Hutton, this does not mean he will not come back to the Canucks. He simply won't come back at his $2.8 million salary. That was a lot. Remember, he signed that big 2-year contract 2 years ago. I think he was a benefactor of it. Obviously, he didn't play that well the first year. Played very well in the second year. And as I mentioned in my video from today, he's probably in line. He thinks he's in line for a big raise, given that the qualifying offer would have had to been a set percentage of, or a percentage, basically 100% at least, of his current contract. So maybe the Canucks bring him in, but they bring him in much lower than $2.8 million. Then you have Jean-Pavel Laplante. He was a center playing for Utica the last 2 seasons. And then Derek Pouliot also fell out of favor with Travis Green, and no surprise there. So again, with the guys that weren't qualified, 4 forwards: Gaunce, Granlund, Hutton, Laplante, and 1 defenseman, Derek Pouliot. So a lot can happen. Again, remember, July 1, all of these RFAs can, if they don't sign their qualifying offers by then, they can also be offer sheeted by other teams, but at the same time, I don't know if that's going to happen to any of these guys. At the same time, they are free to negotiate new contracts with the Vancouver Canucks in excess of their qualifying offers. Same for the 5 that were not qualified. They can still negotiate with the Vancouver Canucks as they can negotiate with other teams as UFAs. So we're likely saying goodbye to Gaunce, Granlund, Hutton, Laplante, and Pouliot. I don't see any of those 5 coming back, as much as I like Ben Hutton, especially of that group. And then of the guys that we did qualify, look for at least Brock Boeser to hit a home run with his new contract, and maybe some of the other guys will also look to extend a contract that's in favor, better than the qualifying offer that they did receive. So mostly a formality, but it gives at least a preliminary indication of who the Canucks are interested in and who they aren't interested in, and at what dollar amount a little bit. You can kind of read into it a little bit. So Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply. As always, tell me what you think about these list of 8 that we qualified, the 5 that we didn't. Any surprises there? And and is there anything that you want to bring up? Any players that, obviously aside from Boeser, any guys that you anticipate getting better contracts than what their typical qualifying offer contract will be? Leave a comment below. I will read, react, and reply. I think I just said that. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Enjoy the day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.